Today we will be comparing the government and the administration of the Most Honorable Askia Mohammed to the current president and leader of Niger, Abdurahmane Tiani. First parallel that we see between these two men is that they came in through military insurrection. Askia Mohammed's whole reason was to challenge the power of Sunni Ali's son at the time. Askia was in the court and the military of Sunni Ali. Problem being that Askia was devoutly a Muslim, and he did not think that Sunni Ali's administration or governance spoke to any Islamic fundamentalism at all. Askia wanted to bring Islam to a new height in the empire of Songhai. So he launched an insurrection against the son of Sunni Ali, which was successful. And as we are well aware, Abdurrahman Chiani launched a military insurrection. This was due to many factors, but first being the problem of terrorism in the Sahel, where the current administrations, the current governments under the democratic rule, were not doing enough to protect the people of the country. So the military had to take matters into their own hands. But further than that, another reason was to stop the hegemony and the power and the influence of colonial France in the area and in the country, to take control of the mineral resources and the trade of the country. The similarity between these two military coups, if we want to call them that, is that they were not for personal power. These were for what the leaders at the time thought they were for the benefit of the people in the country, in Askia's case and in Chiani's case. Now, the second thing that we need to speak about is statecraft, patriotism. When Askia came into power, Sunni Ali's reputation was not the greatest, especially among the scholars of Timbuktu and other major capitals of trade. But because Askia was a Muslim fundamentalist, he had better influence and better relationships with Timbuktu and other capitals where there was major Islamic scholarship. This was a major benefit in terms of him being supported, him making statecraft and using already existing Islamic structures such as the Sharia law and all other things, and to secure trade in the region, because we know that Timbuktu and Gao were major trade centers across the trans-Saharan trade routes. Now let's talk about Chiani. Chiani's statecraft since he's gotten into power, with the support of Mali and Burkina Faso obviously, has been unprecedented. The country's GDP growth rate is projected at more than 10%. We are very proud to see the direction that Nigeria is going in. Their agricultural production has gone up by bounds. We know that in taking back the uranium, the boost for the economy, more projects for energy in the country, not just uranium, which the country has a lot of already, but also hydroelectricity. But what comes with a hydro dam is also irrigation. So you have hydroelectricity, you have irrigation, you have uranium, um, you have you have agriculture in your country. Obviously, things are going to start becoming better. The quality of life is going to start becoming better for the people. And the patriotism, which I have seen from the Nigerian people, I can see that the patriotism that the Nigerian people have now that they are under the administration of Chiani, it has been something that has been inspiring, especially for me. So yes, those are two other parallels. State patriotism. Under Askia, the patriotism of that country, and the stability of that country was large. It was powerful. It was nominally stable. Askia was a diplomat. Askia had spoken to and had made deals with many of the traditional chiefs and kings of other states and lower clans within or around the influence of the Songhai Empire, right? Chiani he himself, being a nominal Muslim, understands that in his country there are people with many religious and backgrounds and many beliefs, and I can see that he is doing his best for the sake of destroying the colonial legacy that was implanted into the country. He is doing his best to involve all sectors of religious belief in that country as it relates to the history and the development of the people of that country. And that is very important because most of that country is young people. I mean, it has some of the largest population of young people on the planet, and people don't seem to care, or they don't seem to understand how significant of a stat that is. That means that the best days of that country are close to being ahead of it, and when we say ahead of it, it's very close. Like 2035, we would see amazing leaps in the development of that country just based off the amount of human capital that they have, which can work because the people are young. I mean, the average age, I don't know if the median age, it was in the 20s or something like that, not even in the 30s, the 20s. So that is something that must be said, which is very inspirational. In closing, I do think that it is unfair to judge the new leaders of the Sahel by anybody else's standard but our own. And when I say our own, I mean our historical ledger of leadership. So I will only be judging Tiani or Goita or Traore based on the accomplishments and the leadership of their ancestors. Not to say that we are not looking into the future, not to say that we are one minded, that we are narrow minded, but to say that it is unfair to judge these military leaders based on the standards of the West. I think all of us can attest to that. We have to look in the past to see what the future of these people are. Thank you very much for watching.